Okay, so we just got done going over finding out that after typing this in, it is 1.8. So now we're going to do 5 plus the square root, oops, clear, plus the square root of 37 divide by 6. Oh, we were supposed to do minus, sorry. 5 minus the square root of 37 divided by 6 is negative 0.18. So negative 0.18. Okay, does this meet our criteria? Close to 2 and a little bit negative? It does. We're going to try the very last one. So the very last one is 10 plus the square root of 101 enter, and then divide that by 5. That's 4. That already doesn't meet what we're looking for, so we can cross that off. The answer is C. Okay? Now, number 7. Which statement about the quadratic equation below is true? So we're going to type this in. Type it into our calculator. Y equals negative 2x squared plus 50. Everything's all on one side, so we don't have to move anything. Hit graph. Okay, so this says the equation has no solutions. Well, does it have solutions? Yeah, it does. So that's not it. The equation has x equals 5 as its only solution. Well, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. X equals 5 is a solution, but it does have another. So we'll put a question mark here. The equation has an infinite number of solutions. No, it does not have an infinite number. Infinite number would be on the x-axis all the time. So no, that's definitely not it. The equation has x equals 5 and equals negative 5 as its only solutions. So we know x equals 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and x equals negative 5. That looks like the best answer choice. D. All right, backside. Number 8. What is the solution set to the quadratic equation x squared minus 100 equals 0? So everything's all on one side. Take out your calculator. Type it in. Y equals x squared minus 100. And graph. So it looks like it's touching here at 10 and 10. Let's check our table. Let's go to 10. It does touch 10. Now let's see if it touches negative 10. It does. Negative 10 and 10. The answer is B. Number 9. Number 9 says the function y equals x squared minus x minus 2 is graphed below. What are the values of x when it's this? All we're doing here is graphing the bottom equation. Just move that 4 over, and it becomes a what? A negative 4. Type it into your calculator. So y equals x squared minus x minus 2 minus 4. Graph. Well, let's check. It looks like it's touching here at negative 2 and 1, 2, 3. Negative 2 and 3. Let's check our table. Well, it did at negative 2. Let's see about 3. Yep, it did at 3 too. So negative 2 and 3. That is A. Okay, now we're going to move on to number 10. Okay, number 10. It says, for what value of b will x squared plus bx plus 100 have negative 10 as its only 0? So it's saying if you were to type this into the calculator, this would be the x-intercept. This would be the 0. Okay, so they're trying to find out b. So here's how you have to do that. The x-intercept, or the 0, will be negative 10, 0, right? Because that's when y is 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to substitute those terms. So when y is 0, because f of x or y equals always goes here, x needs to be what? Negative 10 plus b, and instead of x we put negative 10 plus 100. Now we're just going to solve for b. So we have 0 equals negative 10 squared. Be sure to use the parentheses correctly. So parentheses, negative 10 squared. That's 100 because negative 10 times negative 10 is positive 100. So we have 100 plus b times negative 10 plus 100. So let's combine like terms. We'll combine those hundreds. So we have 200 plus b times negative 10. Now, we're trying to get b by itself. So we need to move the 200 over to the other side. Okay, so it's negative 200 equals b times negative 10. Now, in order to get b by itself, we need to do what? Divide by negative 10. Okay, so that cancels here. So b equals negative 20 divided by negative 10. Oh, sorry, negative 200. Negative 200 divided by negative 10 is 20. So let's test it. We're saying that the equation needs to be x squared plus 20x plus 100. Let's type it in and see if negative 10 is the only 0. So y equals x squared plus 20x plus 100. Graph. Well, it looks like it's touching somewhere over here. Is it at 10? No, not at 10. Did we type that in correctly? Graph. It is touching 10. For some reason our graph's not saying it is, but it is touching at 10. Second plus 712. Y equals x squared plus 20x plus 100. It says y is 400 when x is 10, but that's not the case here, because if you look at it, here at 10, that's where it's at. Okay. Okay, so that is the answer. I'm not sure why my calculator's doing that. It's funky. That's weird. But this is your answer. Okay, or this would be your answer, 20. Okay, so that's how you're going to solve it on your test. So number 11, which of these is a reasonable equation for the graph? Okay, so you're going to type all these in and find the one that matches. So here we go. It's upside down, so we automatically should know that it's going to be a negative. So we can cross out this one and this one because they're not negatives. I'm just going to type in both and see which one I think is better. So we have parentheses, negative 1 divided by 2, parentheses, so negative 1/2, x squared. And then the second graph is going to be negative x squared plus 9. So hit graph. There's our first one. And there's our second one. Which one is it? It's the second one. All right, so now going to number 12. It says a student drops a marble out of several different windows from a very tall building. The time it takes for it to hit the ground from these different heights is recorded in the data table below. Using the quadratic fit, predict the height from which the students would drop the marble in order for it to land 4 seconds after release. Okay, so seconds is T, or R. Seconds is R. Okay, so seconds is our X, right? Okay, so 4 is going to be our X. Let's find our equation. We're going to need to type in that whole thing. Okay, I'm trying to get it to where I can't. Okay, here we go. So we go to stat, edit, type it in, 0.87, enter, 1.22, enter, 1.52, enter, 2.32, enter, 2.63, enter, 3.02, enter. Then we go over to the other side. We have 12, enter, 24, enter, 37, enter, 86, enter, 111, enter, and 146, enter. So now we do stat, over to calc. We want the quadratic regression. Okay, so 5. So this is going to be y equals 15.96 x squared. Then we have 0.20x, and then minus 0.17. Now remember, they want 4 seconds. Seconds is x. So instead of x here, we're going to put 4. Okay, let me show you how to do that in the calculator. We do 4 stow alpha x, remember? So we just told our calculator every time we use alpha x, it's actually 4. So now 15.96 alpha x squared plus 0.20 alpha x minus 0.17. That gives us 255.9. 255.99. Which one is closest to that? 256. Now, very last one. Okay, a table of values for the quadratic function g is shown below. Which of the following statements about the graph of g are true? So we need to figure out what the graph of g looks like. So we're going to use stat again. Okay, so go to stat. Edit. Now to clear, go up to that, L2, hit clear, enter. Same thing for the other side. Go up to L1, hit clear, enter. Okay, now we're going to type these in. -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. At -1, we have -25, -16, -9, -4, -1, 0, and -1. So stat, over to calc, 5. Remember, quadratic regression. We want the quadratic. So this is y equals -1x squared plus 8x minus 16. Now we're going to graph it and see what's true about it. Here we go. So we have -1x squared plus 8x minus 16. Graph it. Okay, so this is what it looks like. We have a picture right here. Okay, so the graph has a line of symmetry at x equals 4. So axis of symmetry right here at 4, it's true. Next one, the graph has a vertex at 2, -4. Over 2, down, -4. That's not the vertex. That is a point, but it is not the vertex. Next one, the graph has an x-intercept at 4, 0. Well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. Yes, that's correct. And it has a y-intercept at 0, -16. We don't see it here, but we do here. 0, -16, that is true. So the answer is 1, 3, and 4, which is B. Watch this over again, study it, watch it multiple times to do well on your test. Good luck.